afternoon, everybody, and welcome to a special WACA-TV presentation of Ashland Clocker Baseball. I'm Josh Abrams, and joining me today, Todd Carter.
How are you, Josh?
Good, Todd. Good. Welcome. Welcome to the big show. Beautiful day.
Beautiful, beautiful day. Beautiful championship day. Right?
That's right. So we have Division III South, Ashland Clockers, the lower ranked at number 8. Taking on, and they'll be the visiting team, of course. They'll be taking on the Midway Mustangs at number 7. It's really been a topsy-turvy playoff so far this season.
Yeah, very strange to have the two lower seeds in here in this championship game, but it's sure to be a good one.
Absolutely, and of course, Ashland, the big shocker this season, knocking off the number 1 seed on their way to this championship game for Division III South. Okay, so leading off for the Clockers, number 10, Matt Neal, as he swings at the first pitch and fouls it off, 0-1, as we kick things off here in Milford. Medway Mustangs versus the Ashland Clockers. There's an off-speed pitch, and Neal fouls it off behind the plate, quickly behind 0-2. And he's facing off against Medway pitcher number 11, Eli Joyce Varl. So here's the 0-2 pitch. Side armor misses wide, 1-2. So Neal's a sophomore. Number 10 here, he'll be playing right field for the Clockers. Swings at another off-speed pitch and fouls it straight back, so stays alive here at 1-2.
Pitch was inside.
This is inside, so the count evens up at 2-2. And I was watching this kid warm up, and he's exclusively a sidearm. He may go a little three-quarter, but a lot of sidearm here. And here's the 2-2 pitch. Just got a piece of it and fouls it straight back. So Neal's making him work early here.
Yep.
2-2.
And that could work in Ashland's favor late in the game if they can tucker out the pitcher early here.
Absolutely. Ashland, of course, coming off an extra inning win in their last game. Here's a foul ball drifting out of play on the third baseline. What? Maybe going to stick around? And it did stay in play. So premature call there as Neal fouls out in front of the Ashland dugout on the third baseline. That'll be the first out here in the top of the first. I don't know, Todd. I thought that one was going to make it to the seats, and then I think the wind got a piece of it, and we're able to keep it in play. And the Medway third baseman was able to make the catch.
Well, wind is definitely a factor here today. It's a gusty day. You'll probably hear it in the headphones throughout the broadcast.
Okay, so our batter now is number 2, Shea Donovan. He's playing left field today, and he looks at a called first strike. 0-1. There's a ground ball to the pitcher. He fields it cleanly, fires over to first for the out. So the first two batters retired here. The Clockers now 2 outs here in the top of the first. Of course, no score. Beautiful sunny but windy day here in Milford. 77 degrees at game time. And that'll bring to the plate Ashland's number 3 hitter, Jackson Hornug, who'll be catching today. He's one of the captains for the Clockers and had a big game in the semis to help drive the Clockers here to the championship game against Medway. Just a bit outside. 1-0 on Hornig.
And Horning is definitely Ashland's power hitter, or one of them in their lineup.
Okay, and there's a called strike, evening the count at 1-1. And yeah, certainly a multi-sport star, Jackson is. We've seen him throughout the season. Whatever season it is, we seem to feature him quite a bit. So here's the 1-1 pitch. Again, missing outside. Certainly trying to stay away from his power on the inside half of the plate. So Hornig up now 2-1 on this pitcher here in the top of the first. Waiting on deck, of course, the cleanup hitter, number 22, Dom Cavanaugh. As Hornig fouls one off, And the count evens up at 2-2. Kavanaugh, another, of course, multi-sport star for the Clockers. We've seen quite a bit of him over the past year.
See if I can remember them all. Football, hockey, and now baseball. And he always plays a starter or captain role in each one.
I thought he was going to jump on that off-speed pitch, but he fouls it straight back, so the count holds at 2-2.
Well, sidearm is definitely something you don't see very often.
Certainly not
high school
encouraged.
baseball.
Certainly not encouraged at the youth sports level.
Yeah.
Fouls off another piece of it. So if nothing else, what they could accomplish in this first inning, whether they get a runner on, score any runs, at the very least they are driving up the pitch count here early in the first inning.
That they are, as we're already into the double digits on our second
He
batter.
fists one to the first baseman, a soft line drive, makes the play. So the Clockers are down in order here in the first 1-2-3. No score. We'll take a quick break and we'll catch on the flip side. Medway coming up, bottom of 1, no score here in Milford. And welcome back, WACA-TV coverage of Ashland High School Baseball Championship Baseball. I'm Josh Abrams, joined by Todd Carter, and we got a real exciting matchup here this afternoon for you folks. The Clockers up against the Medway Mustangs. It's a matchup of what started off as the 7-8 seeds, but both teams have advanced the distance to make it here to the championship game being held here in Milford. So for those of you joining late, the Clockers went 1-2-3 in the top of the first, and Medway's coming to the plate right now.
Yep, and for our starting pitcher, Ashland will put Alex Amalfi on the mound, with Jackson Horning being the catcher. And we will see who's the first batter again.
So now batting for Medway is Sam DePillo, as he fouls one off here. Down 0-1, the first pitch of the inning, of course. DePillo for the Mustangs will be playing right field, is playing right field. And here's the 0-1 pitch from Amalfi. Another one fouled off down the left field line and out of play. So Amalfi ahead of this hitter quickly, 0-2. And another one fouled out of play. I hope the MIAA made a heavy investment in baseballs today, because there's a lot of woods around this field, and I don't think those are going to be coming back. So here's the 0-2 pitch. High, 1-2. Showed him the high fastball.
Horning did a great job of quickly getting up there for that one.
Fouled off another one, so he's not quite got the timing down yet off of Amalfi. Continues to foul him off and staying alive, now 1-2.
I think that's the third or fourth ball that's gone way out into the woods.
And followed by another.
Followed by another.
So we may have to send Ashland Athletic Director Stephen Marks out for a quick errand. Go hit Modell's or something and pick up some more baseballs.
We may have to do that.
And there's another foul ball to the left side and out of play. So DePillo doing a great job here. Now the Mustangs driving up a pitch count. The Clockers did a great job of it in the first inning, fouling off a lot of pitches, but keeping them more in play, or at least within the confines of the field. And there's a called third strike. He froze him, and Amalfi strikes out DePillo for the first out of the inning as the Clockers work it around the infield. That was a really nice pitch. I don't know if he was trying to set him up with all those foul balls, but whatever that pitch was, DePillo definitely wasn't expecting it. Absolutely froze him on that called third strike. So now stepping to the plate, one of Medway's tri-captains, Nick Sheehan, the shortstop. And he takes the first pitch he sees right out to left field, and that's a great catch by the Clocker left fielder. One pitch and an out there for Amalfi, so that'll help out with the pitch count. So Medway already down 2 straight outs here. Here on the top of the first, no score. Section 3 South Divisional Championship between the Mustangs and the Clockers. Stepping to the plate now for the Mustangs, their number 3 hitter, number 24, Mark Peterson, the first baseman. And yes, he was hit by the pitch. First pitch, certainly not what Amalfi wanted to do, to put a runner on here with 2 outs and give Medway some momentum.
Looked like he was trying to put it on the inside and just a little too far inside.
It looked like Clocker coach was looking for an explanation there from the home plate umpire. But seemingly satisfied with that explanation, play resumes as now Medway's cleanup hitter, number 9, Matt Kaplan, the second baseman, steps to the plate with a runner on and 2 outs. Amalfi's first pitch, swing and a miss. 0-1 now to Kaplan. And Medway's first baseman, Matt Peterson, is over at first, creeping out for a lead. Amalfi checks him out, goes in, he's in the stretch, and the pitch. Catches the outside corner for a called strike. And Kaplan down quickly, 0-2. Here's the pitch. Now a little pitch out. Nothing going on though. So the count is now 1-2. Kavanaugh must have thought something was up there. He called for the pitch out. So 1-2 now on the batter. Peterson. And here's the 1-2 pitch from Amalfi. Swinging at the high cheese. He goes down on strikes. Medway is done here in the first inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, 1 man left. We head for the second. No score between Medway and Ashland. We'll be right back. And welcome back to Ashland Clocker Baseball on WACA-TV. we got a close one so far. It's the top of the second with Medway in the field. Clockers at the plate in the form of Dom Kavanaugh, number 22, the third baseman. So Kavanaugh swung at the first pitch, looked at a second strike. He's quickly down 0-2. And he fouls one off to stay alive. So far, this Medway pitcher, he's not throwing heat, Todd, but he seems to be confusing the Ashland hitters. They have not been able to really hit anything hard yet this afternoon.
Eli Joyce Varl with that strange sidearm pitch that no high schooler is really used to.
Right.
As you said, it's not highly suggested at the youth level.
Absolutely, as Kavanaugh looks at ball 1, so it's 1-2 now. The other thing for these right-handed hitters, that sidearm, when he releases that pitch, it's really coming in from behind them. It takes a little bit longer to pick up on it as Kavanaugh goes down on strikes, swinging and missing at strike 3. So that's 1 down for the Clockers, who have yet to put a runner on base. No hits, no walks so far. So looking now to Dante Davanzo, the shortstop, wearing number 1, another right-handed hitter here, in the top of the second with 1 down, bases clear. Josh Abrams and Todd Carter along with you here on WACA-TV on a beautiful Saturday afternoon in Milford, neutral site here for Division III South Championship game. As Dante looks at strike 1, 0-1 on the batter. That pitch missed a high end inside, I believe, so 1-1 on Dante here in the top of the second. As Dante fouls one out of play just behind the plate. Tom, just looking over the notes here, and Dante is starting today's championship game. He's a freshman, the only freshman on the roster.
Well, congrats to him. I am looking over the Medway roster right now.
They, I believe, also have 1 freshman. Yep.
Ryan Abrams, but I don't believe he's starting today.
There's a called strike on Dante as he goes down on strikes. We'll put down the backwards K, and just quickly comment there. Ryan Abrams, of course, no relation, but not an overly common name in Metro West Boston, but no relation to this announcer. Getting back to the task at hand, though, we'll come back to the field. And Clockers down 2 outs here in the top of the second, no score. And Alex Amalfi, the starting pitcher, looks at ball 1, 1-0. Clockers still looking for their first runner of the day here in the top of the second. And there's a ball, 2-0. Sorry, 2-0 is the count on Alex. And Todd, it's starting to look now like the pitcher's starting to mix speeds a little bit more. I was seeing a lot of off speed early. Now he's starting to bust him in with a little bit of heat.
Yeah, Joyce Force quickly finding his footing here after a first inning where it wasn't bad at all. No runners on base.
Right.
But, you know, we saw a lot of balls fouled off.
Mm-hmm. And, of course, Alex taking all the way on the 3-0 count. Gets a called strike here. So now 3-1, still a hitter's count here for Alex. Looking to help his own cause at the plate. Swings and flies one to shortstop. Who's under it? Puts it away. The Clockers go down in order again here in the second. No runs, hits, or errors. Nobody left. We head for the bottom half of the second here in Milford, Section 3 South Divisional Championship. No score. We'll be right back. And welcome back to a special WACA-TV presentation of Ashland High School baseball playoff action, as the Clockers are here for the Division 3 South Championship. They're taking on the Medway Mustangs. Coming into today's game, the Clockers come in as the number 8 seed, Medway the number 7. All the top seeds long gone here as the championship game featuring Medway and Ashland. Alex Amalfi on the mound for the Clockers, hoping to follow up on a clean first inning. No runs across, only one runner in the form of a hit by pitch. And Amalfi now facing Medway's number 5 hitter, Trent Flood, the catcher, wearing number 16. And that pitch misses for a ball. The count evens up at 1-1. As Flood, a senior, looks at ball 2, getting ahead of the count now, 2-1. So again, a beautiful day here in Milford, a neutral site here for this playoff game. 77 degrees at game time, but a little breezy. You might be able to hear that here in the background on our mics, picking up some of the wind. As Flood fouls one off, the count evens up again at 2-2.
Something we've been talking about these are 2 lower seeded teams here for this championship, so certainly something to look at is how these teams have improved over the course of the season.
Absolutely, and Flood looks at a called strike 3, so 1 out for the Mustangs here in the bottom of the second. And it's, Todd, again, I mean, it's a long road to get to this championship game. I believe the Clockers had to go through 3 other teams just to get here today.
Yes, and I believe Medway with the same thing. 3 teams, and both teams are here now, and
it's pitching and defense that generally gets you through the playoffs. And so far, we're seeing some really good pitching from both sides. As Amalfi is quickly ahead on Justin Pratt, the right fielder, 0-2. Pratt, one of the tri-captains for Medway. And he goes down on 3 straight pitches. He goes down swinging. That's 2 outs, both by strikeout, here in the bottom of the second. So Todd, in advance of this game, I was reading a really, really good recap of the Ashland Sandwich game a couple days ago in the Metro West Daily News. And there's a called strike on the DH for Medway, Matt Miller. And earlier in the season, during the regular season, these 2 teams did meet, and based on the score at least, it looked like Ashland handled Medway quite handily. I'm blanking, I don't have it in front of me. The final score, I believe, 5-1 or 7-1. But Ashland's not taking this one lightly, not assuming they're going to get the win easily here today. As Amalfi strikes out the side, not an immaculate inning like Chris Sale, but strikes out the side. 1-2-3, go the Mustangs in the bottom of the second. So no runs, hits, or errors, and nobody left. We head for the third. Ashland coming up, no score. We'll be right back. back to a special WACA-TV presentation of Ashland High School playoff baseball. I'm Josh Abrams, joined by Todd Carter. And if you're just joining us, Clockers are taking on the Medway Mustangs in Division III South Championship game. No score so far, as Jack Matarese, the DH, wearing number 13, leads off for the Clockers. He's quickly ahead 2-0. So interesting side note, Todd, I've known Jack since he was in elementary school, and give a shout out to John and Chrissy and their family, longtime Ashland residents, and just great people. Jack now ahead 3-0. Speaking of great people, great fans, Ashland faithful certainly traveled. Fortunately, this game in Milford, not in Brockton as originally scheduled, so a little bit easier for fans to make it here today. And Ashland well represented here on the third base bleachers as Matarese draws a walk, which is highly unusual, as he is the first runner of the day for the Clockers. And that's a walk from Matarese, who is starting to lean a little bit the wrong way, gets back on a pickoff attempt. No pitch yet to fellow neighborhood friend Mason Dushney, wearing number 3 and playing second base today for the Clockers, as he fouls off the first pitch. And again, Jack and Mason grew up same neighborhood. Dushney family also really great people, great family. And Jack and Mason worked their way through Ashland youth sports all the way up now to varsity baseball here in Ashland.
Living on the same street, they've probably been practicing together. So
absolutely. Still not a great hard hit, but it's trouble. The shortstop is able to track it down. That fly ball had a shot at finding some green. And the farthest ball hit today so far by the Clockers, still getting confounded by the sidearm delivery of the Medway pitcher. So that's one out here in the top of the third, as Dushney flies out to short. And that'll bring to the plate number 8, Brandon Grover, who is first lefty of the afternoon, and playing his numerical position, playing center field, also number 8, as they are a little worried about Matarese. Second time they've thrown over on him.
And that was Nick Sheehan for the catch for Medway. That's his second out of the game.
Mm-hmm. That one a lot harder. That one was looking like it was headed for no man's land, as center field and the two middle infielders all converged on the ball. As Grover swings and misses at the second pitch, he's down 0-2. But shortstop was able to take command. He is the quarterback out there on the infield, and make the call and make the play. A little tougher than it may have looked on TV, but that, as a shortstop, that is probably my least favorite play, having to go back and try and make that catch. So the pitcher misses 1-2 on Brandon Grover, with Jack Matarese leading off of first base, one out here in the top of the third.
And the wind is picking up.
And there's the first hit of the afternoon, a hard line drive to right, as Matarese doesn't break stride. Over to second. Oh, they started to send him. He is back. It's going to be a close play, and he is safe, diving back into third. Mustangs not happy with that call, but Brandon Grover with a screaming line drive to right. He'll take second on the throw.
So the third baseman, Greg Assad, was livid after that.
I think most of the infield was livid, but especially him, the third baseman. That was a really close play, and now the umpires are going to huddle up and talk about it. Matarese came around third hard and got a late stop sign, I think, from the third base coach. Had to dive back in for a bang-bang play at third. The call on the field is safe, but the three umpires are gathered in the infield talking this one over, and we'll see what they come up with. I mean, for the amount of time they're taking, it looks like they're taking this one back to New York.
Yeah. And Coach Matt Messer has come to third.
Wow, that is stunning. Call gets overridden. Matarese has now been called out upon review by the umpires.
Matarese is staying on third until Messer can argue his case.
Yeah. I don't think this one's going to go Ashland's way, Todd. Matarese is going to have to step off third, head back to the dugout. But, tension's running high here. It's a championship game, and every run counts, and every mistake gets magnified. We'll see. This one may come back to haunt the Clockers.
That it could.
Okay. Matteries dejectedly walks off third base, heading back to the dugout, and now, instead of runners on second and third with 1 out, it's only runner on second with 2 outs.
I'll admit I was on the video camera up until now, thanks to Allison Rose, who just came in and is saving the day. But when I was on the video camera, it was a close call. I couldn't even tell if it was safe or not.
There's a hard ground ball to second, little bobble, and makes the play. So Medway gets out of trouble as the Clockers leave one runner stranded. We're going to head to the bottom of the third. Still no score here in the Division III South championship game. We'll be right back. And welcome back to a very special WACA-TV presentation of Ashland High School baseball. We're here for the Division III South championship game between the Clockers and their TVL rivals, the Medway Mustangs. If you're just joining us, we're in the bottom of the third, no score. As coming to the plate now is number 66, Greg Assad, swings and fouls one off, 0-1. Assad looks at a slow curveball that just misses, 1-1 on the Medway third baseman.
The Ashland sideline is quickly getting louder.
There's a called strike, 1-2. Again, those of you just joining us, missing a bit of controversy in the second inning as Ashland finally broke through with a couple of runners on base. But a bang-bang play at third, and Jack Matteries called out, initially called safe, and then overruled. And Clockers unable to capitalize. So we're here now in the bottom, sorry, that all happened in the top of the third. We're in the bottom of the third now. You haven't missed too much. Still no score. And Assad fouls one off behind the plate and out of play. Count holds at 1-2. So Todd, other than a hit by pitch, Amalfi has been really strong and dominant, overwhelming these Medway hitters so far. The only runner to reach today for the Mustangs. That hit by pitch, and there's another strikeout as Assad goes down swinging. That is the 6th strikeout of the day for Amalfi.
Amalfi proving to be dominant thus far in the game.
Absolutely, and now coming to the plate for the Mustangs, number 14, Troy Newman, their center fielder. And that's first pitch is a strike as Amalfi continues to stay ahead of the hitters. There's a called strike on the outside corner. So Amalfi now quickly head 0-2 on Troy Newman. Waste one high on the fastball, 1-2. Got a check swing. He did go around. And the putout made by the catcher, Dom Cavanaugh.
Nope, Jackson Horning.
I always get those two confused. Of course, Horning's behind the plate.
Horning behind the plate, and then it was Matt Spielberger at first.
Okay, so
for the Clockers.
As a check swing, drop strike 3, but makes the play at first. 2 outs now, and that's number 7 on the afternoon for Amalfi. 7 strikeouts, and we're not quite through the third yet. As Eli Joyce Vardel fouls one off to the left side, 0-1. So Eli here, again, trying to help his own cause, get something started here with 2 outs for the Mustangs, as an off-speed pitch falls short and bounces in there, 1-1. Fastball in for a strike, called strike. Amalfi ahead, 1-2.
So this is the second meetup between the pitchers. The first time, of course, Amalfi was up at bat. Now it's Joyce Vorse trying to get on base.
So that pitch fell a little short, 2-2. There's a hit deep in the hole, and it finds Green. Just out of the reach of the Ashland shortstop, and a 2-out single for Medway.
That one just makes it past Dante DeVonzo into Shea Donovan.
So now with 2 outs and a runner on, it looks like we have Nick Sheehan at the plate. Oh, he got him picked off. Over to second, not a great throw. Got the rundown going. Let's see if Ashland can execute this. They've got him in a pickle, running him back towards second. Well executed. Well played. So Eli Joyce-Varl gets picked off of first, expending a little bit of unnecessary energy now. That's a 3rd out. And now he's going to have to go out on the mound to start the 4th. So a big break for the Clockers. They get the pickoff. And we're going to take a quick break with no score here in the Division III South Championship game between your Ashland Clockers and the Medway Mustangs. Stay tuned. And welcome back to a special WACA-TV presentation of Ashland High School baseball. We got a barn burner here for you this afternoon. If you're just tuning in, we're in the top of the 4th. With your Ashland Clockers battling the Medway Mustangs in a TVL Division III South Championship game. And batting now for the Clockers, number 2, Nick Sheehan. This is his second time up. He flew out to left field his first time up. Okay, that pitch misses wide, so he's ahead now 2-1. No score here in the top of the 4th. Both teams, we'll say, had opportunities, but especially the Clockers. But so far, neither team able to cash in. A real minimum number of runners on base so far, minimal number of hits, walks. There's a soft grounder down the third base line, and too hot to handle for Medway's third baseman.
Will be a single for Ashland early here in the 4th inning.
Okay. Let me try this again. So we're going to keep our roster straight here. That was actually Shea Donovan who got on base there. Third baseman couldn't make the play. What looked like a routine ground ball to third turns into an Ashland break. Shea Donovan batting. There's a called strike. So that's Jackson Hornick at the plate now for the Clockers. He lined to the first baseman his first time up. So Donovan, correcting what we were talking about earlier, Donovan grounded out to pitcher his first time up, and now he's on base thanks to an E5. Sorry, we do it all here at WACA-TV. We'll keep it all straight for you the best we can. So Jackson Hornick now with an 0-2 count on him. He's quickly in the hole. But Clockers have a man on with nobody out here in the top of the 4th.
And the wind picking up here. So you can see the clouds of dust going across the field.
Oh, it is a called third strike on Hornick. He goes down on strikes.
And that's a rare sight for Ashland.
So coming to the plate now, the Clockers cleanup hitter number 22, Dom Cavanaugh, playing third base for the Clockers. He struck out his first time up, looking to capitalize here. Soft pitch catches the outside corner for a called strike, 0-1. We'll see if Shea Donovan, he's got to draw a little attention. Pickoff attempt. Donovan back safely.
Yep, Joyce Force checking in with Matt Peterson at first.
Quickly ahead here, ahead of Kavanaugh now, 0-2. You would have thought getting caught in a rundown to end last inning would have slowed this pitcher down a little bit, but he seems to be on top of his game despite that error by his third baseman to allow the leadoff runner on. And here's a fly ball driving the left fielder back, but he seems to be under it and makes the catch. 2 outs. Certainly the best hit ball of the day for the Clockers, but caught too much air. The left fielder able to make a relatively easy catch. And the Clockers down to their final out of the 4th inning. So hoping to keep the inning alive now for the Clockers. Their shortstop, number 1, Dante Davanzo. Only freshman on the roster, playing arguably the leadership position in the infield at shortstop. And here's a ground ball to third, fielded this time cleanly by the third baseman, makes the throw. And the Clockers are retired here in the 4th. No runs, no hits, 1 error, nobody left. Well, sorry, 1 man left. We'll head for the bottom of the 4th. No score in the Division III South Championship game between your Ashland Clockers and the Medway Mustangs. We'll be right back. And welcome back. WACA-TV proudly presents Ashland High School Baseball Championship game. We're here in the bottom of the 4th, and Medway gets a runner on board on a tough play there for the Ashland shortstop, not able to make a clean, sharp throw. And so Nick Sheehan is on board with what we'll call a single.
Dante Davanzo threw that a little in front of the third baseman, Matt Spielberger, who had to try and turn around to tag the runner.
So Medway gets their leadoff runner on board for the first time today, trying to make something happen here. They've been confounded so far by the Ashland starting pitcher, by Alex Amalfi. But batting now is number 24, the first baseman, Matt Peterson. He was hit by pitch his first time up. He's already going to see more pitches in this at-bat than he saw in the first one. He was hit by pitch on the first pitch of the at-bat. But he's behind here 0-1. As Nick Sheehan drawing a little attention there at first base. The last runner tried to do that, eventually got picked off by Amalfi. There's a fly ball and tailing foul and out of play into the parking lot on the first base line.
And off a car it goes.
Better call 1-800-54-GIANT.
Only if they sponsor us. We're going to get that sponsorship
That's
first.
okay. They're not around anymore anyway, so.
Oh, they aren't? Wow.
No, they were bought by Safelite a few years ago.
Oh, wow.
But I'm guessing the number still works. So Peterson's still alive here, 1-2. As Amalfi looks in for the sign. No score here in the bottom of the 4th. Division III South Championship game between the Midway Mustangs and the Ashland Clockers. We're at a neutral site here in Milford. Beautiful Saturday afternoon in June. Medway the higher seed, so they're the home team here as the runner goes on a ground ball to short, but hit just in the right spot. They get the lead runner, but can't get the hitter, who's going to advance to second on the wild throw.
So a chance for a double play. The throw from Mason Dushny was just a little outside for the first baseman, Matt Spielberger.
Okay, so that'll bring Matt Kaplan up to the plate. So we've got 1 out, man on second, and Matt Kaplan, the second baseman, up for the Mustangs. So the Mustangs now with runner in scoring position for the first time this afternoon, and just 1 out. There's a big swing and a miss by Kaplan. So he's behind 0-1. So Amalfi's really going to have to bear down now. It's interesting, Mustangs started the runner there, a little hit and run, and the ball couldn't have been hit in a better place for the Ashland defense, right to the shortstop who was breaking for the bag. steps on second but can't complete the double play, and allows the hitter, Matt Peterson, to advance to second on the wild throw. So here we are now, 0-2 on Matt Kaplan with a runner at second. Thought I heard a foul tip, but the catcher holds on. We're going to call that one a strikeout, and that's a big out. 2 outs now on the Mustangs here in the bottom of the fourth. And that'll bring to the plate the catcher, a senior, number 16, Trent Flood. He struck out looking his first time up. Amalfi with 8 strikeouts through 3 2/3 so far this afternoon. That was no pitch. Apparently time was called just as he went into the windup. Probably he's pitching from the stretch. Was just about to ready to throw. The batter was granted timeout. So no pitch, no count here on Trent Flood. Pitch just missed outside. Catcher tried to frame it, didn't get the call. 1-0 for Trent Flood. No score here so far this afternoon. The Mustangs threatening, though, with a runner in scoring position and 2 outs. A clean single could score him. That ball is fouled straight back. 1-1. Looked like he tried something off speed there and it bounced up there short, but a great block by the catcher, Hornig. Now Trent Flood ahead in the count, 2-1. Just showing some really good fundamental defensive blocking there by Hornig. Too many catchers try to just catch a bouncing ball with the glove. You got to get the body in front of it. And he did a really nice job just keeping that ball in front of him, preventing the runner at second from advancing. So he'll stay there at second. 2-1 now on the batter, Trent Flood, with 2 outs here in the bottom of the fourth, and we're going to get a quick timeout as Hornig and Amalfi are going to have a little chat. Not sure what they're going to be talking about out there, whether it's, maybe try a pickoff play at second. Candlesticks make a great gift. I mean, who really knows?
I know. You never really know what they're talking about, especially when they cover the mouth with the glove.
I believe we have the only camera here today, but they're covering a bit. Keep that conversation private. So we're back now, 2-1 on Trent Flood with 2 outs here in the bottom of the fourth. Midway with a runner on second. There's a fly ball to left center. Left fielder falls down and trying to get to it. Can't make the play. That's a tough play. Just could not get his feet together. And that is a 2-run error. Sorry, a 2-base error. 1 run scores. Medway draws first blood here, 1-0 in the bottom of the fourth, and again have a runner in scoring position with 2 outs. So again, Tom, I'm not sure if wind was a factor there. It seemed like left fielder got a little tripped up. Ball looked like he was heading to left center, and then suddenly may have changed direction on him a little bit. So here we are now with 2 outs still. Justin Pratt, one of the tri-captains for Medway at the plate. He's the right fielder, and he sees a called strike. 0-1.
And one thing we've been talking about all day is it's championship baseball. And one thing that, that can trip people up. People get a little too excited. They start overthinking things, and that is what may have happened to Shea Donovan.
That ball was definitely catchable, and he just got his legs tangled up, couldn't get back on his feet, and that ball dropped right in front of him. So I don't know, there's a little gamesmanship going on now as both teams have called back-to-back, asked for time back-to-back, but look like we're settled in now, 0-1. Pitch misses low, a fastball. 1-1 now on Justin Pratt. Pratt struck out swinging his last time up. One of 8 victims so far today for Alex Amalfi. And it looks like Midway, now we're getting the second time through the order. They may be catching up to Alex. We'll see if he can persevere through here in the bottom of the fourth as he misses again low, 2-1. Again, a nice play by the catcher Hornig to prevent the runner at second from advancing.
It'll be interesting after Horning came out to talk to Amalfi if that's something that the coaching staff is considering, is maybe this will be Amalfi's last inning.
Well, they don't have anybody warming in the bullpen, so it's going to be his inning to finish at the very least. Here's a hard ground ball. Nice stop at third base. Long throw across the diamond is wide. Here's a runner trying to score, and he is out at the plate. An ill-advised attempt. And we got the benches clearing here. Ashland and Medway.
Championship baseball, tensions are running high.
Wow. Okay.
As Jackson tagged, it was a hard tag.
It may have been up in the face. I would have to see that one again, but certainly the Medway runner took exception of the tag. I mean, he was clearly out by several feet. So if anything, he should be upset with the third base coach for sending him than having to get a mitt in the face to end the inning. So that wide throw by the third baseman doesn't cost Ashland, as they're able to cut down the runner at the plate for Medway. We'll take a quick break here with the Mustangs up on the Clockers, 1-0. We'll head for the fifth when we come back. And welcome back. You are watching Ashland High School Baseball on WACA-TV. We're here in Milford, Massachusetts, a neutral site for the Division III South Baseball Championship between your Ashland Clockers and the Medway Mustangs. Medway jumped on board, finally taking the lead here for the first run of the game, 1-0. In the bottom of the fourth, a little bit of controversy on a bang-bang play at the plate. Runner got ruled out, took exception to a hard tag. And here's Ashland leading off in the form of Alex Amalfi, the starting pitcher. Rips a hard ground ball / line drive through the shortstop for a leadoff single here in the top of the fifth. So tying run on base for the Clockers, and Amalfi pitching a gem so far for the Clockers, helping his own cause with a hard single to left side to lead off the fifth. And now batting the DH, number 13, Jack Matarese, who grounded he walked his last time up. That ball misses wide. 1-0. Third baseman for Medway creeping in. I don't know if he's anticipating a bunt, but he's playing in and slowly creeping toward the plate. Let's see what happens here with Matarese. Called strike there. He has not shown any indication for bunt, so I'm not sure what the thought process is here for the third baseman, though he has been a little shaky on what appear to be routine ground balls so far today. He does have an error. And there's a swinging bunt that the catcher lets roll foul, as the count goes to 1-2 on Matarese, with nobody out here in the top of the fifth.
Well, that third baseman for Medway is Greg Assad, and as we've been saying, championship baseball, sometimes you start overthinking things a little bit, and that may be the case.
I don't know if he's doing it on his own or he's getting a message from the coaching staff. Matarese jumped on that off-speed pitch and grounds it well foul down the third base line. A couple of young Ashland fans are after that one. They want to be able to stay in play. We've had a lot of fly ball fouls that have found the woods, and they're not coming back. So 1-2 on Matarese. He swings at it, lines one back to the second baseman, who easily doubles off Amalfi. That's a tough break because Matarese hit it on the nose, but right at the second baseman. Probably one of the hardest hit balls of the day, but right at the second baseman, is able to easily double up Amalfi off first. So now 2 outs, and talk about a momentum killer, Todd.
Yeah, just like that, 2 outs and no one on for Ashland.
Yep, and that'll leave things here with Mason Dushney, the second baseman, wearing number 3. The base is now clear, 1-0 on Dushney. Looking to get things started, a little 2-out magic for the Clockers, as he fouls one straight back. 1-1.
And again, we haven't seen anybody warming up, so we may be able to expect Amalfi again.
Absolutely.
For the next inning.
Yep. So Dushany now behind 1-2. Now it looks like both teams are going to ride their starters as long as they can. There is no action in either bullpen, and the pitch count's starting to creep up a little bit on both teams. Dushany with a defensive swing is able to push one foul down off the first baseline just over the home dugout. So the count remains at 1-2. So Dushany had a soft fly to shortstop his last time up. Now with the bases empty and 2 outs. 1-2 count. Pitch misses high to even the count at 2-2. Okay, he's battled back to a full count now. So Dushany now 3-2, 2 outs, top of the 5th.
You can see some of these pitches are getting away from Joyce Vorse.
And misses inside. So Dushany takes the walk, and the Clockers have something cooking here on the bottom of the 5th. Sorry, top of the 5th, with 2 outs. Coming to the plate now, number 8, the center fielder, Brandon Grover. He singled hard his last time up. See if he can handle the lefty, can handle the sidewinding righty pitcher. Swinging at the first pitch, and that's drifting out of play on the third baseline. So 1 strike on Grover.
And the young fans are out to get it.
Yep. So Ashland's had a heck of a run through this playoff series. Todd, I think they've knocked off the number 9, the number 1, which is a huge upset, and the number 5, I believe, in Sandwich, to get here today for the championship game against the Mustangs. There's a soft pitch that misses high, I guess, 1-1. So Dushany at first, Grover at the plate, 1-1 count. As he watched another pitch sail wide, 2-1. Again, Todd, you have to wonder, is fatigue starting to set in here a little bit on the Medway pitcher? Pitch count's got to be getting up there. We're in the 5th.
Well, and you know what could affect it is that he had potentially a little too much rest. Last inning went a little longer than most of the other innings we've had here, so, you know, it's very stop and go for these pitchers, and that can take a toll pretty quickly.
Absolutely. So 2-2 now here on the batter with 2 outs. Brandon Grover. He swings and flies one in the infield, playable for the shortstop, who makes the catch to end the inning. So the Clockers had something cooking, can't convert here. They're still down 1-0, and we'll take a quick break. When we come back, the bottom of the 5th with Midway coming to the plate. And welcome back, a special WACA-TV presentation of Ashland High School Baseball. Championship action. Your Ashland Clockers taking on the Midway Mustangs in a battle of 7-8 seeds at the beginning of this playoff series. But they're the ones still left standing here on a beautiful Saturday afternoon in Milford, a neutral site. As the Clockers trying to battle back, they're down 1-0 here in the bottom of the 5th. As Alex Amalfi's first pitch is skied on the left side. And a costly miscommunication between shortstop and Dom Cavanaugh at third base. So gonna have to call the error there on the shortstop. It hit his glove. Ball dropped safely in. And so Matt Miller is on board on what should have been a routine pop fly on the infield.
So that was Dante Davanzo whose glove it went off. So that will be an error for Ashland.
Yep, scored that one E6 at home. Cavanaugh seemed to be camping under it. Thought he appears like he reacted like he'd been called off. And suddenly shortstop had to go get the ball. Could not get to it in time. So just a costly miscommunication there. So the leadoff runner on board for Midway, who's trying to build on a 1-0 lead. Now at the plate is Greg Assad, who showed bunt there and fouled one straight behind the plate. So, Midway looking for that insurance run. They're going to try and get it any way they can. Assad showing bunt on the first pitch. 0-1. Assad showing bunt again, pulls it back. Quick throw, snap throw to first by Hornig, but he gets back safely, so that pitch was high. 1-1. having some trouble getting these throws back to the pitcher. I don't know what's going on. It happened after the error at the short, and just happened now on the return throw from the first baseman. So Ashland.
Well, Matt Spielberger tried to tag again real quick. Thought there might have been a step off of first base, but very quickly after trying to tag, threw it back to the pitcher, and
he's going to go get him. Okay. That was an interesting play.
it was a bunt. They got him at first, so that's a double play for Ashland, not the standard double play that you may see in the major leagues.
No, Assad's still at the plate, so that was just a strike. I thought I heard a tip, and I thought it was the bat. I thought it was a foul ball, and I think a lot of people did. I think the tip that we heard was hitting the chest protector of Hornig, but the runner broke on the bunt attempt and got caught in no man's land, and now in fact Assad strikes out for the second out of the inning. So I have no idea how you would even score that play. The runner getting picked off of first was definitely 2-3. And the first baseman, I think, just tracked him down, so maybe a little easier than I initially thought.
Yeah.
We're seeing a little bit of everything here today, Todd. Runners getting gunned out of the plate, runners getting picked off. So now at the plate is number 14, the center fielder, Troy Newman. And he's already at a 1-1 count while we've been dissecting all the action that's been happening here in the fifth. So Medway now down, they've got 2 outs. There's a swing and a miss as Newman pulled his head off the pitch. He's looking down by us here on the third baseline. He's got to keep his eye on the ball. But he's down now 1-2. Fouls one straight back and out of play. Tell you, I hope MIAA is making a lot of money at the snack bar today because they're going to be investing in a lot of new baseballs.
That is the truth.
Okay, he waited for that pitch, skied it to center, and that's the center fielder making a nice, clean running catch. And Clocker shut him down here in the fifth. Thought there was going to be a little bit more offensive action, but
yeah, Brandon Grover made that quick catch, and
yep,
there we are.
Clocker defense answers the call. We're going to take a quick break here. When we come back, it'll be top of the 6th. Clocker's coming to the plate. They're down 1, and we'll be right back. And welcome back to a very special WACA-TV presentation of Ashland High School Baseball. If you're just joining us, we're in the top of the 6th of the Division III South championship game between your Ashland Clockers, the number 8 seed, against the number 7 Medway Mustangs. Leading off here in the 6th is number 10, Matt Neal, the right fielder. He is 0 for 2 today, but he's ahead in the count now, 2-0. And Todd, I got to tell you, these pitches look like they're coming in even slower. He's been throwing a lot of off speed, and these look like he's lobbing them up at this point, and I still don't see any action in the bullpen here in the 6th.
Yeah, Joyce Vorse looks like he might be getting tired. I don't know what's going on. But these sidearm pitches still seem to be getting Ashland.
Okay, as Neal flies out to right, a solid hit. Gave it a ride to the opposite field, but right fielder didn't have to move too much for that one. A relatively easy catch. Score that one F9 if you're keeping track at home. 1 out here in the top of the 6th, and that'll bring to the plate the left fielder, number 2, Shea Donovan. He reached base on an error by the third baseman last inning, but he is 0 for 2 on the day. He looks at a pitch outside for a ball, 1-0.
And for any Midway fans that may be watching, that was Justin Pratt.
Here's a hard line drive. It's off the third baseman. He's not going to make the throw. And I'm going to score that one a hit for Shea Donovan. He tagged that one, and just third baseman got caught between hops there. The ball just ate him up. And that's a single for Shea Donovan with 1 out here in the top of the 6th. So the tying run on base now. And the heart of the Clocker lineup coming up, you've got Hornig, Kavanaugh, and Dante DeVonzo, your 3-4-5 hitters. So Clockers have something cooking here in the 6th.
And something
First pitch through the hole on the left side for a base hit. So back-to-back singles for the Clockers. As Hornig swings at the first pitch he sees, it's his first hit of the day. He is now 1 for 3 after striking out looking his first time up. That'll bring a visit to the mound from the Medway manager. And we'll see, he's got a tough decision to make here. I mean,
I haven't seen anybody warming up.
No, neither have I. I've seen the bullpen out beyond the right field line, but I haven't seen anybody warming up. He's going to leave him in there. I mean, he's been pitching a gem so far, but he looks like he's starting to get hit now. I mean, both of those, early on in this game, any contact was very soft, and these last two hitters have been on a line. You know, nice hard hits here. And again, your cleanup hitter for the Clockers, Dom Cavanaugh, who is hitless today, so you got to think he's due. With 2 on, first and second, 1 out. He swings at the first pitch, and it's a little dribbler to the pitcher. And he'll just take the shore out at first. So 2 outs now. That's a big break for Medway. The cleanup hitter is out 1 to 3. And it's now in the hands of Dante Davanzo, the shortstop, freshman here. Clockers have runners on second and third now with 2 outs.
So runners in scoring position for the Clockers here. But something to mention is that Greg Assad, the third baseman for Medway, has been playing dangerously in.
Absolutely. He's not in at the moment. He's starting to creep a little bit as that pitch is wide for a ball. And again, you got to also be ready here. Shea Donovan, I would imagine, at the number 2 spot's got a little speed. I haven't seen a wild pitch, any pitches get by this catcher yet, but certainly a possibility here. He's got to be around the plate. That pitch also misses wide, 2-0. You don't think the Medway pitcher wants to load the bases here, because on deck is number 4, the Clockers pitcher, number 4, Alex Amalfi. But it looks like it's going to all be for Mood. A routine ground ball to second. They get out of it. So the Clocker rally is stifled. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, 2 men left. We go to the bottom of the 6th. Your Clockers down 1-0. We'll be right back. And welcome back to a very special WACA-TV presentation of Ashland High School baseball. We're at the Division III South Championship game between your Ashland Clockers and their TVL rivals, the Medway Mustangs. The Mustangs have a 1-0 lead here in the bottom of the 6th and looking to extend it over your Clockers. So far on the day, the Mustangs only have 2 hits, but they've been able to make the most of it, and they do have the lead here 1-0. And leading off here for the Mustangs is their pitcher, number 11, Eli Joyce Vorse, as he looks at ball 1. He hits a little dribbler foul, 1-1. So Joyce Vorse in a little bit of trouble last inning as the Clockers were threatening. Second and third, 2 outs, but he was able to escape. And now with a chance to try to extend his lead here in the bottom of the 6th. Clockers starting to run a little short on time. Got to get something cooking. Here's a foul ball that's going to drift out of play on the third baseline. Cavanaugh runs out of room. And the count goes to 1-2 on Eli Joyce Vorse. Alex Amalfi pitching a gem this afternoon. Certainly not his fault that his team is behind right now. He's been pitching great, only 2 hits so far in the day, but his defense been a little bit shaky. 4 errors. Take that back. Here's a hard ground ball to second, but Dushney played it perfectly and makes the play. That's going to be a 4-3 if you're scoring at home, and it'll take Medway up to the top of their order. Okay, so at the plate now for the Mustangs is number 2, Nick Sheehan, the shortstop. He is 1 for 2 on the day with a single his last time up, and he looks at ball 1, 1-0. Starts to show bunt, pulls it back, 2-0. Also a quick shout out to our videographer, Allison Rose, joining us here a little bit late. She was having a great day at the Ashland Farmers Market, always one of the big highlights here in Ashland. Always enjoy a good visit, a good day out of the Farmers Market. Plenty of great vendors, great things to eat, to buy. Great chance to be in the community. As Nick Sheehan swings and misses, count evens up now at 2-2. Fouls one straight back and out of play. Count holds at 2-2. With one out here in the bottom of the sixth, bases are clear. Medway up on your clockers, 1-0. It's a soft off-speed pitch that gets grounded foul down the third baseline. Count remains at 2-2. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Strikeout number 9 for Alex Amalfi. So that's 2 outs and the base is clear. Coming to the plate now for the Mustangs, the first baseman, number 24, Matt Peterson. He has been on base both times he's been up and scored the lone Medway run. Hit by pitch his first time up, E6 his second time up. So 1-0 here on Matt Peterson. Correct that count earlier, by the way. That's strikeout number 10 for Amalfi, as Peterson fouls one out of play on the first base line.
And you could audibly hear the ball going off of someone's car.
Might be getting a call to AAA this afternoon. He went. That's a called strike. Tried to check, couldn't hold back, and he's behind now, 1-2. That's Matt Peterson at the plate, the first baseman for the Mustangs. Here's a foul ball, way out of play, down the left field line. Count holds at 1-2. Peterson all over that pitch, but way out in front of it. Okay. That pitch only went about 63 feet. Actually, make that about 58. It's 60 feet 6 inches from the mound to the plate. That one went about 58. Didn't quite reach, and too hot to handle for Hornig behind the plate. So 2-2 now on Matt Peterson. Just lays off the slow curveball, and a full count now. Peterson battling back. He was down 1-2, and now full count. Amalfi definitely wants to end the inning here. And there's another ball driven way out of play. Count holds at 3-2.
As we said, Amalfi's been pitching an absolute gem.
But doesn't have a lead to show for it so far, as another foul ball. Yeah, I mean, he's been doing a great job all afternoon. He has stayed ahead of hitters. Other than that hit by pitch, I can't find a fault in his pitching today. Just a terrific outing. There's another foul ball. That one's going to drift out of play on the first baseline and head for the parking lot. About an hour and a half into this one. And bottom of the sixth, 2 outs. Nobody on. Full count on the batter, Matt Peterson, the first baseman. And Peterson just, defensive swing, is able to drop one over the infield for a clean base hit to the left side. So, Medway has a runner on board now with 2 outs. That was a hard-fought battle, a double-digit pitch at bat. Peterson on board with a single to left.
And that was an absolute golf swing.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
down low.
You got to be defensive. 2 strikes. He's just trying to put the ball in play. And a seeing eye single that drops over the infield for a base hit. That'll bring the cleanup hitter for the Mustangs, number 9, Matt Kaplan, to the plate. He's the second baseman. As once again, Amalfi, before throwing a pitch, throws over to first to check on the runner. That's Matt Peterson at first for the Medways. So Matt Kaplan, appeal to first. He did go. That's a swinging strike on the appeal. So 0-1 now on Matt Kaplan, who has struck out swinging his 2 times up this afternoon. So Amalfi looking for the K trifecta, if you will, to get out of this one against Matt Kaplan. That one misses high, 1-1. It's your first baseman leading off a first right now, Todd, for Medway. I have to think there isn't a lot of speed there. I don't think he's a threat to run in a 1-0 game.
Not really.
There's a hard ground ball and out of play. Keeping the fans on the left field line on their toes. That was a hard one. Managed to get out of the way. Everybody's okay. No worries. No foul.
No harm, no foul?
No harm, no foul. 1-2 now on Matt Kaplan. See if Malfi can just put him away, not let him hang around in this at bat like he did with Matt Peterson. Wow. A slow curveball that was absolutely short, but he offered at it and fouled it off on the bounce. That's a special talent. He actually fouled that one. Ball bounced before it reached his bat, but you got to be protective, got to be defensive with 2 strikes. So still 1-2 on the batter with a runner on. Here's the 1-2 pitch. And now fouled out of play on the third base line. So here we go again, Todd. See if Amalfi can either get the punch out or induce a soft ground out to end the inning.
We're gonna run out of baseballs pretty quick.
We're gonna have to send Stephen Marks to Modell's for a second trip for baseballs. Here's the 1-2, off speed and wide, evening the count to 2-2. Hornig with a nice play to keep, again, blocking the ball, keeping in front of him, preventing the runner from advancing. You really want to keep him at first if you're the Clockers at all costs. Keep the force play in play at first or second with 2 outs.
And as you said, Horning definitely uses his whole body.
You got to be mobile back there. You got to be able to move the whole body and not just try to backhand a wide pitch. There's another foul ball, and it will reach the stands. Kavanaugh again will run out of play.
That one
deflected off something. Yeah.
That hit the lights.
Did it? I thought it deflected off something on the ground and took a big hop up high. Kind of startling the Ashland faithful sitting on the third base bleachers. So let's try this again. 2-2, 2 outs, man on first, bottom of the 6th. Amalfi on the mound for the Clockers, trying to end this one, this mini Midway threat. Here's the pitch, short again, and we once again, for the second consecutive batter, have a full count after Amalfi had been ahead of him early. But a series of foul balls, able to stay alive. And again, you got to think here late in the game, maybe a mile an hour or two off the fastball, Medway's able to catch up, then perhaps in earlier innings would have swung through. They're able to get a piece. Here's a check over to first, and Matt Peterson back easily. Can't forget about that runner. 3-2. Got to keep this one a 1-run game going into the 7th. Let's see if Amalfi can finish it off here. Here's the pitch. Low for a ball, he walked him. So back-to-back double-digit at-bats, pitches here. I mean, he's had to throw at least 20 between those 2 batters. And I got to wonder how much longer he has, and sure enough, here comes the Ashland coach coming up to the plate. Coming out to the mound for a visit. Let's see if he's going to make the move here.
It'll be interesting to see what they do, because we haven't seen anybody warming up.
Nope. And other than the 1 run that scored, this is the only, I guess, the second time today that Medway's had a runner at second base. He's going to stick with him. Again, I'm not sure who he would go to in this situation without anybody warm. But it's Amalfi's inning. It's Amalfi's inning to finish here. Now runners on first and second with 2 outs. And now at the plate is Trent Flood, the number 5 hitter, and the catcher. Again, senior, Trent Flood Sr. is a catcher. And he swings and misses at the first pitch. So Flood struck out looking his first time and was out at the plate. This is the runner who was out at the plate on that controversial play. Controversial in the sense that he was out by quite a bit. There was no question about the call, but he took exception to the tag, and both benches cleared momentarily. Order quickly restored, but that's what kept this game a 1-0 instead of a 2-0 game. Now here in the 6th. So that fastball misses high. 1-1 now here on Trent Flood, with the Mustangs threatening with a runner in scoring position. They've got runners on first and second with 2 outs. Both runners on base with walk and a single. But again, just really wearing down Amalfi. This ball's got a shot, but just drifts out of play and bounces off the Ashland dugout roof. So now 1-2 on the batter, Trent Flood. As the Clockers doing everything they can to keep this a 1-run game as they head into the top of the 7th. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. We're still here, bottom of the 6th. Medway threatening with 2 runners on, first and second.
A 1-2 count.
Right. So Flood down to his final strike. Amalfi unable to put the last 2 batters away after having them in this exact situation, 1-2, before allowing both runners to get on board. Okay, there's another foul ball. I never saw that one come off the bat. Nope. And right over our heads down the third base line. So
luckily it hit a tree before dropping. So
count holds it 1-2. There's a fan running with several balls in his hand. All these foul balls, they've been collected here in the stands. Get them back into play. So here we go, 1-2 on Trent Flood. It's a soft pitch. It's to left, and left fielder makes the play.
That'll be Shea Donovan for Ashland.
Okay, making up for a costly error an inning or 2 ago. So Medway threatens, but unable to capitalize. Mustangs up on your Clockers, 1-0. We head for the 7th. Last chance for the good guys. We'll be right back. Welcome back to WACA-TV's presentation of Ashland High School Baseball. We've got a real barn burner here. Your Clockers are down 1-0 in what could be their final at-bat of the game. We're in the top of the 7th. Clockers down 1-0. And leading off for them, their pitcher, Alex Amalfi, who looks at a called strike, 0-1. Amalfi's pitched a gem today, but he's on the losing end right now and swings and fouls one off, 0-2. So here in the 7th, we've got Amalfi batting now, followed by Jack Matarese, the DH, and Mason Dushney, the second baseman. Need at least 1 run here to keep going, Todd.
They do.
So both starting pitchers have gone the distance. Okay, close call there. It looked like he may have offered at it. The home plate umpire checked in with the first base umpire. First base umpire gave the safe signal. It's a ball. He did not swing at that one. So 1-2 now. And that one misses wide, quickly evening the count at 2-2. So Alex Amalfi looking to help his own cause here. At least get on base, get things going, get things started here for the Clockers in the top of the 7th. There's a hard ground ball, but right at the second baseman. Throws over to first, and Amalfi is retired, the first out of the 7th inning. So the Clockers with only 4 hits today, 2 of them in the 6th, and so far held off the scoreboard. So with 1 out now, Jack Matarese comes to the plate, the DH. He walked his first time up and lined to second base his second time. Swings and misses at a pitch. Looked like he had a late read on that pitch. He was a little behind that one. 0-1.
Yeah, you could hear it tip off at just the last second.
So Matarese at the plate right now, followed by Dushney and Brandon Grover in the hole. Those are your batters looking to do some damage here against the Mustangs here in the top of the 7th. Matarese flails at an off-speed pitch. He's down 0-2 now. The Midway fans starting to get a little noisy. I think they can sense a win. They're rooting on their guys here, the Mustangs, here in the top of the 7th. Okay, Matarese takes a moment, calls for time, is granted. Gather his thoughts. He's stepping back in now, ready to face the 0-2 pitch. Laid off that one, 1-2. Matarese, of course, is a junior at Ashland High with aspirations to play college ball. I think he's looking at Division II schools, Todd.
believe you're right. As he gets ready for this pitch.
And he fights one off to short right. The right fielder got a late break on it, but able to recover and make the play. So that's F9 for those of you scoring at home. And the Clockers now down to their final out in the Division III South Championship game against the Mustangs. Mason Dushney comes to the plate now, the Ashland second baseman.
He hopes to keep Ashland's season alive.
Yep. And that's a ball, misses wide outside. 1-0 on Dushney. Medway pitcher on the verge of throwing a complete game here, complete game shutout. 2-0, he's missing inside now. So again, Todd, I mean, I've not been overwhelmed by his fastball. He certainly doesn't seem to be like an overwhelming fastball, but he's been ahead of the hitters all day, really seems to be confounding them with the off-speed stuff and perhaps the sidearm delivery as that pitch catches some of the plate for a called strike, 2-1.
Yeah, certainly something that high schoolers are not used to is that sidearm pitch, so that's been his big advantage.
And here's a fly ball to short right. Second baseman calling for it, makes the catch, and that's a final. Medway Mustangs are the 2019 Division III South champions as the Clockers come up 1 run short. So for Allison Rose, Todd Carter, I'm Josh Abrams. Thank you for watching Ashland High School Baseball on WACA-TV. Your final here, the Medway Mustangs 1, Ashland Clockers 0. We'll see you next time here on WACA-TV.